This is Adam from the other day. Say hi, Adam from the past. Yes, hello. He's at the woods, but he's sad because he doesn't have any equipment to train with today. But wait, what are those? Sticks? Contrary to popular belief, you don't actually need a lot of fancy equipment. There's loads you can do with 1 or 2 sticks. In fact, that's all you need to train the whole body. Get in! Let's look at some of the more inventive ways you can use sticks to train your mobility, and your lats and your biceps and your legs, and so much more. We'll start with the obvious, shall we? A stick or 2 are perfect for mobility. Shoulder dislocates are one of the most obvious examples. Just grab the stick at each end and then raise it up over your head with arms straight and then go past the head. You'll be able to bring your hands closer together as this becomes easier. Try and make sure that you're able to go in both directions. You should find it a little bit uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. You can also find where you feel the stretch most and spend a little bit of time hanging out there. What's great about this option for shoulder mobility is that you can't cheat by bending your back. It's also simple to track your progress because you can see your hands move in and out. Oh, Adam, you're somewhere else now and wearing different clothes. Let me guess, you ran out of time filming. Okay, Adam, fair enough. Another great use of a stick for mobility is this hamstring stretch. The aim is to fold at the waist, as though you're trying to touch the ground, but instead of reaching down, which encourages you to round the lower back, you're instead going to walk yourself down the stick with your hands. Keep the leg you want to stretch straight at the back and step forwards on the other foot. Focus now on hinging at the hip and keeping the back as flat as possible, and the stick should help you to do this while protecting your form. By the way, I got this move from Captain Cairo's channel. I highly recommend checking him out. I'll put a link to that video in the description down below. For mobility, one last trick with a stick is this kneeling stretch for the thoracic spine. This is great for improving rotational movement, and using the stick between your hands and head keeps the torso locked in place, so you don't end up just turning the shoulders or just turning the head. Kneeling likewise keeps the hips straight on. Again, there are many more of these if you do your research. Point is, the stick can help you to keep in a locked position, forcing stricter form and biomechanics, and helping to correct movement issues. Now I just want to take a moment to shout out today's sponsor, that's NordVPN. So for those of you who aren't familiar, NordVPN is a VPN. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and what this basically does is it helps you to browse the internet a little bit more safely so that fewer people can see what you're doing. Now it's not a complete solution to your internet security needs, it's just one piece of the puzzle, but it does provide an awful lot of really important benefits. Basically, you're relaying your traffic via a server located elsewhere through a secure encrypted tunnel, and this means that the websites you visit don't see your IP address, they see the IP address of that computer. At the same time, you can use this for a host of other cool features. For example, if you want to access region-locked content, then you can do that very easily by just changing which server you're browsing from, changing the location. Likewise, you can use this to beat cooldown timers on certain services. Best of all, Pioneer viewers can get access to a big discount by heading to nordvpn.com/thebioneer. You'll get 4 months free on a 2-year plan, so why not go and check it out? And it's risk-free with a 30-day trial, so there's no harm in giving it a shot. Thanks once again to NordVPN for sponsoring this video, and now on with the show. Now this is all pretty cool, but there's a lot more you can do with sticks. Bodyweight training is amazing, for instance, but it's a little limited in terms of training the lats and the biceps, but not so if you have 2 sticks. Here's a move I think I invented, called the double stick row. Grab a stick in either hand and then dig the bottom ends into the ground. Then straighten your back and legs so you're resting on your heels with your torso lifted by your arms. They should be straight. Now pull yourself up to your hands with your lats and biceps before lowering yourself again until your arms are straight again. Remember to retract the shoulder blades as you bring yourself up. I'm pleased with this movement because it solves a big issue with calisthenics, training the biceps and lats with no equipment. It also incorporates a great challenge for the core, and of course, the wrists and forearms, as you have to stabilize yourself. This stabilization challenge activates all sorts of muscles you didn't even know you had, and it has many of the same benefits in that way as training on gymnastics rings. Take this easy and make sure you have a soft landing. It's a little tricky. Oh dear, Adam, be careful. If this is too hard at first, try bringing your legs closer and utilizing a more upright posture. This will reduce the balance challenge and it'll bias the biceps a little more. Lower your hands down the stick if you want to make this more difficult, both in terms of stabilization and the resistance on the lats. Or if you're feeling a little crazy, why not take this even further and raise your legs on a surface like a bench? Make sure to keep that torso straight, no sagging. This takes the stabilization challenge that much further, while also adding more resistance to the lats and to the core. It's a party trick for sure, but it's also a surprisingly brutal workout.
Really cool.
Thank you. If anyone can do this with one stick, let me know. I'll be pretty impressed. I wonder if it's possible to do a dragon press this way too. Oh, that's got a smart. Oh, and on a side note, you can also do something like a tricep extension in a similar manner. But there are more ways you can train your lats and biceps with sticks too. For example, if you don't have access to a low bar for bodyweight rows, you can instead lie a stick across 2 chairs and use that. If you lie it across 2 tables or something a little bit higher, you can even use this as a pull-up bar. Just raise your legs, or you can keep your legs on the floor and make it into an assisted pull-up. Curl your arms in to really focus on the biceps if you want to. Hold the stick close to the edges to avoid it breaking in the middle, and maybe consider using 2 sticks even. Again, be safe, make sure your sticks are strong enough. Here's another weird move I came up with. I call it stick crawling. It's a work in progress. But you know what? This was actually pretty tough work on the biceps, even if I did look more insane than usual. Another area that's tough to train without equipment is the legs. A simple tip then is that you can use sticks to help yourself balance. This works for tougher leg movements like the pistol squat or a sissy squat. And unlike using a wall to assist yourself, you can actually use the sticks to pull yourself up. This makes tougher moves more accessible for those starting out, so you're not just stuck with bodyweight squats, you can also now do pistol squats. But it also provides more experienced athletes with the option to assist themselves past failure to create a drop set. Finally, the stick can be used to get a great ab workout. I won't go into a lot of detail now, seeing as I already discussed this in a very recent video, but by placing the sticks between your head and hands, and then by making sure not to pull against it, completely removing the momentum you might otherwise be tempted to use to help yourself up. You can also add rotation onto this. Got any other moves, Adam? Yeah, maybe that one's not ready for public consumption just yet. You know though, staff spinning might actually be a good tool for developing hand-eye coordination and smooth movement, just like juggling or rope flow. What else you got? Okay, that's just showing off a little. Yeah, that'll teach you. Yeah, this is a cool move, but it's a high-impact one and not something I'd recommend as part of your regular training. Still, it's a great test of explosiveness, jump height, timing, coordination, and mobility, and it's a cool party trick.
Recently I told you guys that the exercise that got me into all this was actually doing sit-ups with a stick behind my head, because that's what my step-granddad taught me to do, and he's the one who started training me at an early age with all these kind of Mr. Miyagi type challenges, which was really cool. But what I didn't mention is that this was the actual stick that he made for me. Still got his the carving that he did on its face. He was quite a creative guy, so this is quite a sentimental item for me, and I like that about it every time I train with it.
But I'm also here using 2 broom handles, which I bought off Amazon. I think they cost about £10. And compared to like a pull-up bar, they're just so easy to store, to carry with you, etc. So yeah, that's why they're so practical. So there you go. That's a bunch of awesome exercises you can do with 1 or 2 sticks. And it's really just scratching the surface. Let me know any of your ideas in the comments. And let me know if you want to see more like this. Ways to train with a wall, for example. Or with a railing. Anyway, say bye, Adam. Properly, please. Better. Bye for now. Cool, that was cheesy.